Welcome everyone to this demo here. In this demo we are going to talk about how we can invoke the parallel builds. Now parallel builds is a feature in declarative pipeline in which we can run some stages, some steps parallelly. Usually we can have any kind of steps configured in this parallel, but again we most of the time try to have those steps which is quite isolated from each other, which is not dependent on each other, because if there are some steps which is a dependency there, then you would be invoking those things in a sequence, not in a parallel. A lot of times we may configure that let's say like we wanted to do a deployment to multiple servers. So in that case, rather than doing the deployment sequential, you can go for the parallel also, so that you can save a lot of time and you can reduce the overall time execution which is being taken by your CI/CD pipeline. So I'm going to create a pipeline over here in which we have a particular pipeline which is available there. So we have a pipeline with me. Now in this one we are pretty much using it starting off from the pipeline, that yes, we are creating a pipeline over here. So that's what we are trying to do. And in this one we are going to have the configuration around the agent, that what agent we are trying to configure, we are trying to set up here. And then we will be having the stages. So within the stages we will be having multiple stages. Like one stage is there which is of checkout source code. So in there you are trying to put that the checkout of the source code is what we are trying to do, you are trying to achieve here. So checkout of the source code is what you're trying to do. You're trying to set it up over here so that you can see like how the checkout can be done. Now this one is going for the checkout of Maven build repo. That's what we are trying to do. We are trying to execute here. After that we are going for the build automation. So here we are going for the parallel execution. So in this one, as you can see, like there is a parallel execution which is going to happen over here. One stage is Maven build and second stage is Maven test cases. So depending on that, you are going for the executions, like how the test cases executions can be done, and you are trying for the different setups. The Maven builds, when you're going, so Maven clean install is what you're trying to run. You're trying to execute that how exactly the setups or the executions you can do, and you can perform the overall setup here. So these two steps will be invoked, but let's see like how they get up over here into your pipeline. So I'm going to create a new pipeline job over here and we'll say parallel pipeline. So we are going to create a pipeline type of Jenkins job, and here in this one we are not going to check out the pipeline from the repository, but we are going to hardcode the pipeline content in this particular Jenkins job itself, and that's what we are going to do here. So I'm going to put the content here right away, and then if there is any kind of issues or errors here, I will be able to see that how exactly the the executions can be done and whether this is going to work for us. If it does not goes around that, or it does not works in that way, so definitely we will be able to see like how these executions and the setups can be really managed and can be get along over here in this one. So this is the way that how these flexibilities or these setups we are trying to manage. So I'm going to save this Jenkins job here, and then we are going to invoke the build here. So once the build is being triggered, of course in the output you will be able to see like the both the Maven build and Maven test cases, these two stages are getting invoked. So these are getting invoked into the parallel executions, like parallelly these are getting executed, which means like these all are going on in together in each other in this mechanism. So these are not getting invoked in a sequential manner, but into a parallel execution here. And from the logs also you will be able to see like how this execution or how these values are really going to be considered there. As of now it's successful, but yes, from the logs you will be able to know like, okay, this is where we invoked multiple jobs. We can have multiple steps executed, not into a sequence but in quite parallel over here in this one. So this is the way that how exactly we can go for the parallel builds in Jenkins as such here.